All right, we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Writer's Block podcast. All right, this episode is once again brought to you by the Comedy Zone over in Jacksonville. Shout out to the home team, the home club. Give it a round of applause. Yeah. All right, I got a special guest in the building with me today. I'm really excited about this. All right, we're here. Today's August 11th, all right, and it'll be here August 11th, 12th, and 13th here with Felipe Esparza. My special guest in the building is featuring for us this weekend, my guy Martin Rizo. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Thanks for having me, Bobby. Hell yeah.
I appreciate you making time for this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I would have just been in my hotel room watching TV, man.
What are you watching? What do you put on when you're not doing anything?
The food channel, bro. It's just it's insane because like when they do like those food challenges, like yesterday, it was with Guy Fieri, and they're supposed to make hamburgers.
Yeah,
but they're supposed to get the ingredients from what's it called, the supermarket. But then they're like, oh yeah, but we don't have buns, so they had to make their own buns.
Okay,
so that was interesting. This lady, she made a breakfast burger, so she made pancakes for the buns.
Honestly, that sounds kind of fire.
So it's like, oh, dude, that's fucking cool.
That sounds fire.
Yeah.
You a cook? You just like watching people do that thing?
I like watching cook, man. I bought an air fryer, so fucking yeah, dude.
Yeah, air fryer's a new wave, bro.
Dude, air fryers are like the new engagement rings. Like you ask your girl, I think we should get a air fryer together. You know?
Yeah, that's how you ask to move in with someone. It's like,
exactly.
Hey, we should get an air fryer together.
That's a commitment right there. Oh,
all the way from LA. All right, here in Jacksonville doing these shows. Martin actually came out to the open mic that we did Wednesday. So I appreciate you for that. That was really cool, man. I love when people are coming. Like, not often does it happen. You know what I mean? You got in a little early, I guess. So, you were looking for some shows to work out and do some things. Last night was actually the biggest audience we've had since starting the open mic. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was telling you, you came at a perfect time, man. It was a great night. We had a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody who showed up over there. How did you feel about the open mic? And then, you're about to do the actual inside of the club this weekend because, we're out in the lobby and stuff like that. But you traveled here and you did an open mic show as opposed to just waiting for the club to happen. You do that a lot in cities?
Yeah, if I know, like, there's like an open mic, like after like the main show or like what's it called, like around town. I like performing. I like checking out the scene, because like I feel that's like the purest form of a comedy scene, because it's like still, like it's like people are working on material.
Yeah, to figure out how like what the city's like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then you'll see like, people that have been doing it for a while, working out bits, and you'll see new people. So it's a combination of, like different kinds of people. Or you'll see people that are just trying it out, just to see what's up, Yeah. And yeah, man, so we came in a day early because we're supposed to arrive today, but they've been just canceling flights like crazy. So they got us the flight yesterday, and then when I got here like at 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I saw there's an open mic. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, yeah, check it out, man. Why not,
Hell yeah.
It was popping, dude. So I saw my name. I was like, oh, fuck, yeah.
Hey, I'm glad that you said it was popping. That was important. If I say it, it's biased. But now people know.
It was popping, dude. There's fucking people there, like regular people. Because you like the open mics, like compared to the open mics in LA. And I always heard this, like any, like open mics out of town, that are not like, like the big cities, like LA and stuff like that. There's always people because that's like a show to like regular people, like people are excited to like check out. Oh,
Wait, like in LA, people are coming excited for open mics? Oh, you mean the other way?
Yeah, the other way around.
Got it.
Because in LA or like the or New York, like open mics is mostly just fucking comics. It's just comics. You know? So there's like no regular people. So like regular people would be like, oh, I'd rather go watch an actual show, The
audience.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say we do still get that. I'm based here, so I go to majority of the open mics every week. Yeah. There are some weeks where it's literally just the audience is comedians, and we have not even comedians don't even make an audience. Everyone's on their phone checking their fucking notes. We don't care about each other.
Oh yeah, exactly, dude.
The audience will be like 2 or 3 people, and then they'll be like, all right, we got 12, 15 comics on the list. Like I've been doing the open mic for a couple weeks now. I think like maybe 2 months, 2.5.
Yeah.
We've had some shows where it's like, okay, we got a lot of people here to see comedy, but we've also had shows where it's like, okay, well, we got a lot of comics here to do comedy, and we kind of wait on people to show up. But it's been growing. There's ups and downs. I thought it was really cool. I was gonna ask you what the parallels were like between here and LA, because I've never been to California. I've never done shows there yet, but I would love to go and actually see what's going on. You work in LA mostly. You were saying San Diego earlier.
LA, that's like I was born in East LA, so like.
Nice. Hell yeah. So you've been there all your life?
My whole life, yeah, dude. What's it called? My parents came from Mexico. There, good thing they, they stopped right there in LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So LA's very big. When when I tell people, because when I tell people how big LA is, because a lot of people think just LA is just like downtown, the city, Hollywood, and like Beverly Hills. But like
to me, it's just what I've seen on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, but like LA's big. LA County, the county of Los Angeles, is 88 miles, dude.
Damn, that's kind of wild. I think Jax might be fat too.
It's like, and every part of LA is big, because like if you get we have a forest in LA, the Angeles Forest. We have mountains, we have deserts, we have what's it called? We get snow too, like by by the mountains,
Yeah.
And then we have of course the beaches, and then we have of course the hoods. We have farms in LA. So
do you do like shows or in the hood areas per se? You go everywhere?
Yeah, dude. So it's funny because the comedy scene and I will say SoCal because I bunch up Orange County, which is the other county next to LA.
Okay.
And then there's the IE, the Inland Empire, which is another county. So it's it's the three major counties right there, and then of course down it's like San Diego County and all that shit. But so LA and the other clubs. So it's So I'll talk about LA County. So South LA is more of the urban shows, That's like the who started there, man? I think Katt Williams used to run a show out there back in the 90s.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. Felipe, he used to work with Katt Williams before he made his money. Because before his name was Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, so that's when I was introduced to Cat, when it was Cat in the Hat. He used to end every set. It was like, y'all been all that, I've been Cat in the Hat. And then that's when I started watching him.
So Felipe used to book him in the shows, and so before he did Friday After Next, he didn't have any front teeth because he was he was a funny ass comic, but he just wasn't making money at the time. But after Friday After Next, that's what fucking blew him up.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. So South LA, I've done a couple shows out there, and people always say the urban shows are the hardest ones because you got to impress, Mm-hmm. And and then there's South LA, which is mostly the Latino scene, which people call it the fucking the burrito circuit. That's what I hear people white people be like, that's a burrito circuit, And then there's more east, which is kind of it's like Hollywood is more hipster, it's kind of that's
how the crowds differ where you are.
It's different, dude. It's different for sure, man. And there's the Valley, which is it's a mixture of just regular comics and alt it's just a melting pot.
Yeah. What would you say that where do you say that you fit in those categories?
I could perform in all the places now, but remember in the beginning. So the reason all these urban shows would start and all these Latino shows and kind of the alti shows was because the main clubs just wouldn't book a lot of these comics, So that's what the Latino scene kind of started on the east side because the clubs they would probably just book one Latin comic at the time, and it was just probably just Paul Rodriguez,
like the diversity, all right, we need one of you to do all that,
And then the same thing, they'll probably book one black comic or one Asian comic. So that's why these guys are like, man, I'm not gonna fucking let these people tell me that I could perform it, or these gatekeepers tell me I can't perform. I'm not a comic. I'm not good enough to perform. So these comics just kind of branched off and started doing shows at bars, nightclubs, what's it called? Just places are not traditionally for stand up.
Yeah.
So that's how, on the east side, all these comedy shows were at restaurants, fucking seafood places, dude, nightclubs.
That's what it's like over here, man. This is our only club that we have here currently. We have Fat Cats, which is it's kind of a restaurant that turned into more comedy and doing stuff like that. But we still have a lot of restaurant shows, a lot of bar shows that the people just rent out and then throw comedy shows. So but yeah, you now that you can be funny in any room. It was hard for you a little bit.
Oh yeah, in the beginning it was because you get used to performing for one crowd, So I was just doing the Latin shows for a while,
Yeah.
And then it kind of hinders you, because you fucking just do like these kind of jokes, and then when you go to like like another part of LA that's only like fucking like 10 miles down, south, and it's a different world,
a completely different crowd.
Yeah. So it's just like you gotta, kind of like you learn, kind of just not get pigeonholed, because like in LA you'll see people that just never leave like fucking. They'll never go to like downtown LA. Like they'll never go to the beaches. They just stay stuck in like one area and just
have their spots, their safe zones.
Their safe zones, yeah, exactly. Like you'll see the same guy perform at the same show, and he just won't perform anywhere else, But hey, man, fucking, I feel comedy kind of gives people kind of like a little identity. You kind of feel like part of a group. So it's like, you can't hit on people, If that's what like makes them kind of give them like a little edge, like besides like working all day, being a family guy, and they feel part of a fucking brotherhood, like they're like, yeah, man.
Why not come, keep going. How long have you been doing comedy? You're speaking currently, like you've been doing it for 20 years. And when you told me how old you were last night, I lost my freaking mind.
Dude.
When did you start comedy?
2008, man.
Jeez. Okay. 2008. So how old are you?
I'm 32, man.
Congratulations. First of all, I'll say, so 2008, you were.
How old was I? Fucking 20. How old was I now? I was like fucking 19, 18?
18, 19? Oh, yeah, I started when I was 19 also.
Cool.
Yeah. So what made you like get up when you were there? What were you watching, or what were you thinking about? Were you like, oh man, I gotta try this out? Young 20-year-old.
Oh man, because I was in high school writing jokes, dude, and I knew I wanted to do it. So I remember.
So you were in high school.
I was writing jokes in high school, dude. And then, so I remember what's it called? I would have these notebooks, and I watched Last Comic Standing. It was on TV at the time.
I used to love that show.
Yeah. So then, dude, I remember like my senior year, I was working at the movie theaters. And then I had a whole bunch of friends, and I would just always do jokes. And I was the guy that I'd be like, I'm going to do comedy. So people would be like, oh, he's going to do comedy one day. And then it was just like so many months of me saying, I'm going to do comedy one day. Oh, that's Mark. He's a comedian. He's going to do comedy one day. You know?
And people were like supporting it off rip.
And I was even doing comedy,
Yeah. That's great.
Just idea. And then fucking people were like, so when are you going to do comedy? I'm like, let me look up open mics. But then, I started looking up open mics. The first time I performed was at the Laugh Factory open mic, Tuesday nights.
Nice. Hell yeah.
They still do it there, yeah. And then I did that. And there's a place called the Sunset Grill, which is on Sunset. And it was on top of it was like, so underneath it was like, I think like a Guitar Center. And then on top it was like it's called the Sunset Grill.
It's kind of dope.
And we used to do a show on the patio. It was the best times to do was in the summer. I remember, dude, like the comics I came up with, man. It was I remember that's where I met Jamar Neighbors.
Nice,
super funny guy.
Yeah,
dude. He's on the new show. What's it called? This Fool on Hulu, and he's been on Keanu and a whole bunch of stuff.
Holy shit! You started with him back in with this the Sunset place,
the Sunset Grill. Yeah. That's where I saw Jamar. Yeah, funny guy, man. Super funny comedian. And then who else did I? Gerard Carmichael, I remember when he came down to LA from North Carolina.
That's dope.
He was I remember he would wear the same sweater all the time. It was from the university. Such dude. And oh man, Gerard Carmichael, dude, like this guy. I remember what's it called? He was so funny at the open mics, and then I feel like he's one of like the last few comics that made it traditionally through stand-up, Yeah. Because after that, like, everything changes. Like, digital stuff, you gotta fucking
like
do this and
podcast clips and a bunch of like the new media kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then he was like one of like the last ones that kind of like, like before the transition really happened. Because like he was like still like it was all about fucking what's it called fucking merit. It's your skill. Like you're fucking. So then I remember we were all do the open mics together, right? Me, this guy Francisco Ramos, Melissa Villaseñor before she was on SNL, Gerard, Jamar, and I remember what's it called? We saw the thing change for Gerard because I remember like with the open mics and then like out of nowhere it just what's it called? Not out of nowhere because he's fucking funny. What's it called? Like And these white guys in suits started coming to check out the open mics, you know, like agents, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And I think they must have been CAA or something like that. And then I remember like, oh, fuck, dude.
That must have been different. Or what people are usually coming in like flip-flops and jeans or something in the crowd, and then just people show up in suits. And
an open mic, dude. So, like, and I remember, like, we were like, oh, fuck yeah, we got to do fucking good. Yeah. But once Gerard was off, they would fucking leave. Like, they didn't give a fuck about anybody else, dude, you know?
Yeah. Make him go last.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But so, I remember them surrounding Gerard, and then after that, man, it's fucking history for fucking. He started touring with Daniel Tosh, and then he worked on the Gerard Carmichael show.
Yeah,
he did a special, shot by Spike Lee.
How do you deal with like people next to you, people you see as friends, you know what I mean? Like when
pop off?
Yeah.
Oh,
how do you, because I'll be honest, like myself, I'm very happy for my friends. I love my friends. A lot of them are very talented and they work really hard at what they do. But there is still a competitive side of me where I'm like, fuck, man, like, good. It's great that you got this going on, but like, man, I'm trying to also get it over here and do it. How do you deal with that?
It's inspirational, and it's always like, you're like, okay, I gotta get, you can't, it's like, I mean, it gets into human nature to kind of be like, oh man, but also that's kind of like, all right, but fucking, you got to go to the next level too, you fucking like, let's fucking do it, like the blueprint's there. I fucking see people doing it, so let's fucking, let's do it, Yeah,
I think also in a way like the better that I see people next to me do, where I'm like, all right,
it's possible,
listen,
dude.
like I mean, like the better you do, the better we all could do. You know what I mean? If everyone just sticks with the right integrity and stuff like that. When did you start working with Felipe? You're here doing the club with him this weekend. How that set up for you?
I met him in 2000. I must have met him like early on, man, because I remember like I knew who he was because I used to watch him on TV.
Okay, yeah, I used to see him a lot on TV also. Yeah.
And then I remember on MySpace, dude, I would add so many people. Like I was like, cause I remember I heard somewhere, say, cause I hope in mics it'd be like, people be like, yeah, man, Dane Cook says it's 90% hustle and 10% comedy, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I started just adding a shitload of people on fucking MySpace. Like, I had a whole bunch of friends I had like fucking like 20,000 friends on MySpace.
That's wild, honestly.
And then it was just me adding, dude, just like that, because like, and then I remember I was just promoting my, kind of like how now I do it with the comedy, but like I sucked back then. It was just fucking shitty ass jokes back then, dude. Dude, but also like kind of like hyping myself up,
Yeah, I feel that all the time. Like I don't know, I still edit old clips that I would do from like even last year. Like I posted a clip today that I did here, my first time here performing last year, and then now I'm looking, I'm like, I used to try to get booked off this tape. So you feel that too? Yeah. But I was asking about working with Felipe.
So I met, so we were friends on MySpace, and I remember I was doing cold open for this show at the Laugh Factory, the Latin show.
Yeah.
And I remember
cold open. What does that mean?
You go before the host. So it's kind of it's one of those things where kind of you ask like a host, like you ask like the host, like, can you please perform, man?
Like guest spots here?
Guest spot, but you're not really in the show, so it'll be like it's kind of paying your dues, Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you're a comic like out here and you want to get like on a show, like like a book show, and you'll be like, hey man, and they tell you it's booked, I'll go up before the show. I'll bring you up. So that kind of like hosts like to hear that because like now you break the ice,
That's interesting. I don't think no one's ever said that to me before.
Yeah, so next time, be like, for comics out there, be like, oh yeah, man, I'll go up. Can I go up? Like if you see like a headliner come in or something like that, hey man, I'll cold open the show. Like I'll bring up the host. And sometimes it'll be like, 5 minutes. So
I just got to the point where like, because I've been meeting a lot of people and networking, like through being here in this podcast, but I've always felt weird. I'll be like, hey, can I get time on your show and all this stuff? You know what I mean? But like now,
dude, invite them on the podcast and like that, and break.
Now I'm more open to that. You know what I mean? Like now that I feel like I'm funnier and can, I don't want to bring someone else. I don't want to bring a headliner show down. Even though like they're gonna go on and do what they're headlining for a reason. But I don't know. It still feels that way a little bit. But yeah, so you were saying?
What was I saying? I forgot.
We were talking about MySpace.
Oh yeah, MySpace. Felipe, so then I remember like he came. He was doing the same show as me at the Laugh Factory. Because when I was cold opening, right? So I went up before the host. I fucking ate dicks, but I was hyping myself up so much, like fucking, Yeah. And then Felipe was like, how'd it go, fool? Because like we were friends on MySpace. Mm-hmm. And then, cool, man. So after that, So how the fuck did we start hanging out? So at the time I guess so he couldn't drive at the time because child support suspended his driver's license.
Yeah, that's
so
wild.
I ended up just giving him rides to auditions and stuff like that.
Okay.
We just became buddies like that, dude. It was like in 2010, dude, like when we actually started hanging out. And then he won Last Comic Standing in 2010. And then after that, he took me on the road. So like it's been like, just working with him, like just like doing stuff. And then we do the podcast together, the What's Up Fool podcast.
What's Up Fool podcast?
Yeah,
hey, all right, go check that out, man. How long you been doing that?
So they started the podcast in 2014, and I jumped on officially 2019.
Hell yeah, all right.
So it's cool.
So you're used to podding. You're used to being in, okay, hell yeah, that's dope. That's great.
Like we all have, like everybody has a podcast in it. Like, it's it's like if you don't have a podcast, it's like, are you a child molester? Or I don't know. It's just weird, Like, it's like weird. Like, what's wrong with you,
bro? It's crazy. People without podcasts would think the same thing of people with podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. You're a child. You're a weirdo, bro. You're a rapist.
What are you doing, bro? Talking into microphones?
Yeah, frozen heads in your fucking fridge. Like you don't have a podcast, or what's wrong with you?
So, what's your pod like? What's the pod like? Tell me about it.
So the What's Up Fool podcast is just talking shit, just fucking random stuff or stories. And me and my girlfriend, we have a podcast too called Squad by the Bell, and it's just us talking. It's more explicit. You're just talking dirty. And then me and the other comic that's here.
Wait, you're talking dirty to each other on the podcast?
We just say dirty stories about sex.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then we get like perverted fucking like fans listen to it, but it's like that's how you get them.
Yeah, that's the I don't know. Yeah. This man's having podcast phone sex.
Yeah, exactly.
And going crazy viral.
Yeah, we pretty much recap with like the sex we had, and people are like, oh, what?
Yo, dude, honestly, I think that might be a fire segment. I don't know. I don't know if my reviews would be good, so I don't know if I'll do that right now.
Yeah,
I gotta get some more miles, and then I'll invite. You know what I mean? But yeah, so doing 2 podcasts and like you think that that helped you?
I think that helps you kind of like what's it called? It helps you remember old stories, and it just kind of helps you talk be more conversational. I feel,
Yeah.
So it's fun, man.
How do you think your material and stuff has grown, and how you've grown as a comic since doing?
Beginning?
Yeah, you said 2010. This it's 2022 now.
Yeah, when I started, I was like very monotone. Like I was like very kind of just like one-liners because I was afraid to just like explain a story and hear silence, because I would panic. Oh, nobody's laughing, so I got to say something right away,
Yeah.
And then, man. So I would say I'm still learning, but I have gotten more. I guess I would say more solid, of course, since then, and just more comfortable on stage. And be more silly, be more myself. I feel,
What do you like to talk about? What do you feel like yourself is that you're presenting? I'm still like right now. I hit a weird point where I don't know, like I do good at shows, but I'm also like damn, like I'm looking back at my tier. I'm like, I want to say more than this.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really doing. Like what am I really doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that when you're like now that you've been doing this for a longer time, you're comfortable? You still feel that at all? Are you finally saying what you want to say a little bit?
No, I still feel like I like I'll say something and then like I'll watch another comic and I'll be like, oh man, like I want to do that. But sometimes maybe they're looking at you like, oh, I want to do that too. So it's just like I don't know, man. I guess it's like the grass always seems cleaner and cleaner too.
I knew what you were going for.
But it just almost seems like I feel like people always envy each other. Not envy, but it's kind of like, oh, I like what he's doing, and then they're probably like, oh, I like what he's doing, because like maybe like a storyteller can't do the one-liners, but maybe a one-liner can't do those. You know what I mean? It's just like it's one of those things, man.
And you like for you specifically, like what are you talking about now these days when you're on stage? What are you having fun with?
So just about personal stuff, relationships, dating, of course.
Yeah.
And sometimes I also have some one-liners, or I'll do like more like topical stuff now, because I remember like back then. Now I feel because of like the way like stand-up clips are going, like people don't want to burn like a lot of their material online, so you'll see a lot of people just film sets specifically for kind of crowd work,
Yeah, and then they just post the crowd work clips and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I posted some of the material, but like I don't know, the way that I started looking at it now, where I'm like, all right, none of this material, I feel like nothing I'm doing now is going to be the thing that takes me to the top. I can post these, and I have to keep making new stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is that how you're approaching it now as well? Or are you with this whole record it, put out some crowd work, or,
Now, what's it called? I guess because I was just kind of like doing more silly, I don't know if I can explain myself. I haven't had breakfast, guys. No, so I was saying, so before, because in stand-up, I've had friends that like did social media and then like they fucking blew up. Then I had friends that just did stand-up. So I was kind of like in the fork in the middle of the fucking road. So I was like kind of like, I was doing like a lot of like silly sketches on, what's it called? On TikTok, Instagram, you know, like more shit like that. And so recently I'm like, you know what? Let me take more of my stand-up clips more serious. Let me film my shit, you know, because like I saw what it was doing for some of my friends. They were going fucking viral with their stand-up clips, and I was like, kind of like, not that I was waiting for like a special, you know, like because I've shot some stuff before for TV, but like it just I haven't had a special yet, you know.
Yeah.
Or so I was like, you know what? Let me film something that's kind of like almost looks like a special, but not like a special. So like I bought this camera. It's called the EZ10 Sony, which is it's a new vlogging camera specifically for vlogging. It's good in low lighting. It's 4K, and dude, it's brand new, and it's like $7.99, dude.
Yeah. And that you plan to like take that and film more of your stuff.
Yeah. And I bought these like lav mics that connects to myself and then the camera to get like the perfect audio.
Oh shit, nice,
like,
dude.
Just really trying to like up my, because I was just filming myself.
Little things that can
kind of be like, oh, there's some production in it, you know, there's some production value as opposed to like a phone far away, which I was doing, you know, and I was satisfied, but it just sounds muffled. But now I'm like, all right, I gotta take shit more serious, you know. I have like sometimes I'll have a camera obviously recording that way, but like how you have your live mics, I usually just like I have my phone on stage. Oh, that's perfect.
And I'll record the audio
and you sync
on
it together.
stage.
Oh.
Yeah, because like when I don't know, I learned like when the camera's like behind the audience or whatever, like all the laughs are in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And then when I learned, oh my God, I'm recording these sets on my phone anyway, so I can listen to them on the way home.
Yeah.
It always sounds better off the laughs are coming directly at me, and it sounds a little more produced when I post those clips.
Yeah,
it makes it sound, you know, people get the real vibe of what it is.
Exactly, dude.
So like a little more production could also step things up a lot, man.
And
like
people look at it and be like, oh, fuck yeah, this sounds good, you know. It doesn't sound like the back of a room, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So stuff like that, you know, because like think about comedy, nobody's gonna hand you anything, like especially nowadays, dude. Like with the way things are so. Because I remember, like years ago, dude, I was hanging out with Felipe, and New Wave was like I don't think it's around anymore. Maybe it isn't, like in a sort of way, but it was like a management company for comedians, and they had like the biggest comics at the time, you know.
New Wave
Entertainment. They had Dane Cook. They had fucking all these fucking comics. And Felipe,
I never see that much anymore. I see like that 85 Gorilla, or that's the wrong number, but like the Gorilla Records and stuff. I've seen some of those where they sign comics and post their stuff.
Yeah.
So that was. No, New Wave was that back.
New Wave was like they would produce specials and they would like manage comics back then. And we're going to a showcase with Felipe. They had the House of Blues. The House of Blues right there in Hollywood before it got tore down, and that place was famous, dude. Tupac did one of his like last performances there.
R.I.P. Tupac.
R.I.P. baby. And then he died for our sins, bro. What's it called? So I remember going to that showcase, and you see like a lot of these comics that are funny, and it's funny Felipe talks about it now. A lot of these comics now probably wouldn't even be signed with fucking New Wave anymore, because it's like back then it was just more about being funny, but just the way shit changed.
Yeah,
dude.
like you were just talking about like how it's different, like putting things together yourself. When you were talking about that special earlier, I learned kind of early on, and thankfully for me, like I started this podcast because
that's fucking because people
like. I learned like when I'm just watching it, every comic that I'm watching on YouTube or specials already, they're literally already saying, yo man, like it's different now. Like, I'm watching comics put their life savings into producing whatever they want themselves, and then like from that, like Matt Rife was here a couple weeks ago.
I remember Matt Rife. I remember giving him rides when he first came to.
He came to the club a couple weeks ago, man, and like his special, he put all his money into that. That
Only
shit
fans,
went good, and then now he's touring himself. Like I was just paying attention to people like that who are a little older than me, where I'm like, oh my god, like if I just build whatever I can myself, it's different instead of just waiting out, because you never know who to reach out to be like, hey, can I have a special? Hey, how do I get, like, you know what I mean? You don't know what to do like that in my position.
You could film your own special here, bro. You just get like 3 sick cameras, 2 yourself and then one the audience, or you don't have to record the audience.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's my plan here, man. I got a couple more months, so I'm trying to get a good thing together. But I've been playing. I've been watching, man. I've really been studying and seeing how things are changing. Good. Like, I'm only 23, so I haven't been around for comedy. That's good. How like watching it, like I was watching. As a fan, I didn't know I didn't want to do comedy until I got to college. So when I'm just watching, I never learned, this is produced by this person and all this other stuff. But now, talking to people like yourself who are touring and coming to town, I'm like, oh my God, like there's so much more that is to this.
And don't let older, because you'll see like these older, like, because when I started, it was still like that weird transition where like these older generation comics that just did the road, and they were like kind of like, they would tell. It was a different time, dude. Even though like it's not that long ago, but it's just like, cause I'm a millennial, so I kind of like I had the both sides,
Yeah.
Cause I still feel young enough to like I know like what's hip, Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Well, first of all, you can't say hip. You can't.
I know, bro.
That's already
fucked up, dude.
You already just showed your age. I get what you're saying, though.
Because like, you see like these older comics like, you're not a headliner until you gotta pay dues. You gotta fucking carry my bags. You gotta do this and that, Yeah. But don't let like these people like these older comics that fucking are jaded because fucking they don't know how to fucking work a tablet, and they don't know how to fucking they don't know anything about podcasting, like, do I got to pay to be in a podcast? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's because man, like you'll see like these younger comics that were just fucking. Because sometimes, like, you got the older comics, oh, man, you're not funny until you've hit, like, at least 6 years of comedy. No, bro. Dude, you'll see some fucking funny-ass comics that have been doing it for, like, a year, 2 years. Dude,
I literally experienced that. Some people ask me how long you've been doing comedy. I'm like, like 4 years or whatever. They'd be like, you know, 2 more years, you'll be able to understand what I'm about to say to you. And I'd be like, nah, just shut up.
Different time, bro. Because like people like nowadays, the way things go, man, somebody will blow up in a fucking couple months doing stand up, and then fucking and then now those older guys will be like, hey man, can I work for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember man, rest in peace, dude. He just passed away. Jack Knight.
Oh shit, dude. R.I.P. Jack Knight, man.
Man, I remember when he moved to LA,
that was crazy,
dude. Young ass guy. Must have been just like fresh out of high school. How old did he must have been like 19. And I remember like and I was just like, this guy, I was like, how long has he been doing it for? Like a year? And he was funny already, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then some comics would be like, oh man, but like you need more life experience. Bro, if you're funny, man. You're funny, you know what I mean? So Jack
I agree with that.
I remember seeing him doing like these open mics and these shows around Hollywood and what's it called? By UCLA area. Funny ass guy. And like, dude, so it's like that shows, man, you could be doing it for like a year, 2 years, and as long as you're funny, man, you're fucking funny, dude. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man.
Who do you like to I'm sure you got people whenever you're back at home that you like to hang out and do shows with. Who do you work closely with? People that you're also grinding with and trying to, blow up out of LA, you know what I mean? Like do stuff like that.
Oh, man, there's a lot of funny comics in LA, dude. There's at least like fucking like 50 open mics happening in Los Angeles, bro.
That's kind of wild.
Insane, dude, because there's so many bars.
Yeah. We only have maybe I think we might have like 13.
That's so
at
good,
least.
dude.
I could be exaggerating. I'm just counting all the shows that I know in my head. But 50 a week would be crazy.
Yeah.
You do like multiple a night?
I don't do as many like I used to before, but I remember I just like hitting up a bunch of comics and be like, all right, guys, we're going to ride together, man. Like 4 of us in a car and just fucking pitching for gas. And we would just like hit up like all these open mics, and then we'll like do like a book show and then and like do an open mic after. It was just like a lot of grinding like that, dude. Like 4 or 5 open mics in one night. And then I remember Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank right there. It's more, what's it called? It's more northern of LA County. It's LA County still. But I remember they would have open mics from like 9 p.m. to like 2 in the morning, bro.
That's kind of insane.
A shitload, like at least like fucking 60 comics, bro. And the thing that sucks about that too, it wasn't first come first serve. It was lottery. So
that is the worst, dude.
Bro, you could get there early.
That's trash.
You could get there early, and then fucking you go up at the end. There's only like.
So I'll explain real quick for the audience. Lottery, I've only been to one of those shows here in Jazz. Lottery is when someone will go on stage, and the comic on stage is a person who calls up whatever comic they see on the list. It's like, all right, next person's gonna be random name or whatever. People form cliques with each other, and they're like, if you go up, you call me next. You call me next. If you're not in that clique, you're waiting all fucking night to go up, dude.
and your brain's fried. Dude, my brain was fried like at 2 a.m, and I was like, there's like probably only like one person. I'm like, I could have just been doing this at home. Dude.
I would have enjoyed Zoom comedy better than this shit.
Yeah, dude. At least I don't have to wear pants when I do Zoom, dude.
Yeah, man. What is like? Do you have like a worst show that you remember, and your best show that you remember? Something that you're like, okay, I want to keep doing this, or then you had shows where you're like, oh, this should end tonight.
Oh man, I've done a lot of weird shows, because I remember we used to do a show. I used to run a show at this bar called the Sunset Room, which is like East LA. It's like East LA is like hood,
Yeah.
But this is like East LA. It was in the city called Hacienda Heights. And so that room, who had it first before? So it got passed down for like years, So like the first batch was this comedian, Sebastian Cetina. He had it. Then Felipe had it for like probably 2 years, and this one Filipino comic had it, Edwin San Juan. And then after that, George Perez had it. And then after George, it was me. I had it for probably like 1.5 years. Then this other comic also, which means bear in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then this other comic, Zach Elk, had it. And then now, I don't know. It's still going on, but now it's like it used to be every Monday, man. And I remember, man, that place, all these comics, because like that place had so much history, So like, I remember, and this was like before Joey Diaz was like big, and I remember Joey Diaz would come down and do the Sunset Room as a favor, dude. Like he would be like,
hell yeah,
I'll come down for a fucking $50 in a fucking donut, because there's like a donut spot right there, Chrissy's Donuts. Bro, have you seen the Donut King?
Yes.
On Hulu?
Yeah.
So, it was a Cambodian-owned donut shop, and now it all makes sense, Dude, if you haven't watched Donut King, watch it on Hulu. The best documentary, bro. It's inspiring, dude.
I love documentaries, bro. I check those out from time to time. So your show, tell me about when you ran it, what was it like?
It was a bar. It was a fucking dive bar show. There's no stage, but it just had history. People come down to the shows. And so Fergie's mom from the Black Eyed Peas. Do you remember that band? Like,
what do you mean? Do I remember?
I don't know, you're 23,
yes,
dude.
I remember the Black Eyed Peas, bro.
You're 23, dude. I don't know.
All right, yes.
So Fergie's mom, she lived like down the street, because that's where Fergie grew up.
Yeah, I didn't know her mom, so that might be,
Yeah, so Fergie's mom would always be there every Monday night watching the show, and it was just like a lot of locals mixed with like younger people that just turned 21, come to the shows. Like, so it was a good mixture. And every Monday night, what's it called? I would get fucked up. So it was like dollar margaritas, and I just turned
crazy.
And I just like turned 21, so I was excited, bro. Yeah.
Dollar margaritas would have an entire dude. I've never been to a comedy show with dollar margaritas. I feel like that would be crazy,
bro. It was insane.
People in Jacksonville drink as fuck, dude. If you have $1 margaritas, I don't know, man.
Dude, so yeah, man. So I remember like after Felipe won last Comic Standing, he went there to kind of like celebrate, and we're having a show, like the show there, and the people were just it was like fucking the end of fucking episode 3, where like the Empire, fucking, and then
Star Wars,
everybody's dancing, and then the Force Ghosts come out. But yeah, man. So it was cool every Monday night. It was rowdy. We'd get drunk. It was a cool little era in comedy, dude. Like all these comics would come out to it, man. Joey Diaz would come out a lot, He's like, hey, cocksucker. Felipe would always be there, working out material. Who else, man? Joe Coy came down one time.
That's crazy.
When I worked for him for a bit.
Yeah.
And then who else, man? There'd be a lot of fucking people that would come out there.
You've got to work with and next to a lot of comics, man. How do you I don't know, I'm an open mic host now, so I'm learning like you meet so many people who you just never see again. How do you feel about that? Like I feel like LA is even way more, where you'll meet someone at a show and then you're like, oh hey, how you doing? Well, the whole chit chat that people do, and then you just never see that person ever again. Is that weird?
Yeah, dude, because I remember I remember, so when I started, I remember you see like all these comics, and then it was like a seasonal thing, like you see them, and then like after like the summer was over, they would just leave and never come back. But the people, I remember there'd be some funny comics, man, that I would see, and then they would leave and they never see them again. But sometimes they would leave, but then they'd be working somewhere else,
Yeah.
Like Akash Singh, he was living in LA for a bit.
I used to watch him on MTV. Was where I first saw him. Back in the day. Yep.
Yeah, he moved to LA for a bit, and when I started, then after that he left, and I don't know, but he was like in New York or Texas working.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where I'm gonna move after I leave here, either New York or LA. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna visit first. But
even Austin's popping too, man.
Yeah,
Austin's popping, dude, because it's still kind of brand new, but it's like it's happening, dude.
You've done shows in Texas and stuff like that?
Yeah, Texas is big, so I've like done like the small shows and also like the cool cities like Austin and Dallas.
That's what I'm working on. I just got a good tape from doing the showcase that we do here, River City Comedy Showcase. Next one, September 7th, if you guys want to come out.
Do they have a festival here?
So I just did like literally August 6th. There's this comedy film festival thing called LOL Jax Film Festival. That's the first festival that I've actually like seen pop up around Jacksonville. So it was really, really dope. They've been growing every year. This was year 7. We actually did it at the news station. So they're partnering with like the sports teams, the Jaguars and ViStar and shit now.
Is that Thunder?
That's Thunder
Holy
and Rain.
Shit.
It's crazy. That came out of nowhere.
I thought somebody fell.
Yeah, I heard the rain start like a couple minutes ago, but like that thunder, I'm like, oh shit.
Holy shit, dog.
You don't get this in LA, do you? Huh? I
don't know. Rarely, man, but it rains. It rains a lot in February. That's when it rains a lot. Like
in February.
Dude, it's the whole month is just pouring in, but we fucking collect all that water. You know, we need it, dude. And then June gloom. Yeah, it's gloomy.
Yeah.
But
So like that got me addicted to. I'm trying to do more festivals and like apply to more festivals and shit. I used to apply with an old tape that now I learned wasn't that good because I was a much worse comic.
Where are the festivals around here that you're applying to, or just like the ones like kind of like?
I just joined this Facebook group where all the festivals were. So like, I don't even think it's like Florida. I've just been seeing whatever pops up. I'm applying to. Like I'm trying to get out and do more things. You know what I mean? Like get out of Florida specifically because I've been here for a little minute. But yeah, do you do festivals and like inter-comedy festival? Have you done those?
I've done a couple of festivals. I've done the San Diego festival. And it's where you submit, you pay like $50 or something.
Yeah, the same rules for all these other ones.
What are the fucking this HBO thing I did recently.
That's huge.
And then I'm doing the Chicano pretty much the Chicano Comedy Festival in 2 months in LA. So it's kind of like showcasing like the upcoming
October
8th in a Pico Sports Arena, which is like East LA. But I was gonna say, dude. So the cool thing about like some of these festivals that are like in towns where there's like really not like a big comedy scene, it kind of brings out like people from like industry, and it brings out a whole bunch of comics. Like if anything, dude, because you put this open mic together over there, and you put this together here. So I'm thinking you're like one of like the main ones that's like kind of like bringing like like the culture of comedy.
I'm doing my best,
to the masses, dude, you should partner up with the with the Comedy Zone and like. Dude, produce a comedy festival, the Jacksonville Comedy Festival, bro, where fucking people submit, of course, to do the festival. You pick out, what's it called? I don't know how many comics do the tournament, and then have them come out here. And then, of course, have sponsors.
That would actually be, I never thought about that. That's actually a great idea.
That's a great idea because I've noticed like some of these smaller towns there's no comics in before. They would just do the comedy festival, bring awareness to the fucking scene, They'll get fucking sponsors like fucking, I don't know, Publix or fucking, to kind of like, pay for, like, and plus there's a hotel here. So like if you have like 10 comics come out here, dude, it's already here, and then fucking get Pollo Tropical to be
Listen, if you know people who would love to come to Jacksonville and stay at a Ramada Inn.
Dude, it's convenient, bro.
Yeah, I really, like, that is exactly what I've been hoping, like, I've been trying to figure out how to take that to the next level, you know what I mean? Because, there's always, you get something in the door, but you want to grow. You want to, how can we get the most out of this? That's a really good idea, dude. I never thought about that.
Look into the comedy festival, man, where you have comics just, what's it called? Submit their tapes. They got to pay a fee, like $20, $30.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to start. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, like that. Because, like, dude, because I've submitted like that, like these festivals, they make their money, but also the money goes back to, like, of course, help, paying for, for like the, I guess, the travel or whatever, Yeah. But, and it's about, also to make a profit too, to kind of like, invest in, like future stuff,
Yeah.
So, dude, look into doing the Jacksonville Comedy Festival. Because, dude, because there's like fucking 10 festivals in LA County, bro. It's like right next to each other. Because, like, there's like the Burbank Comedy Festival, which is produced by Flappers Comedy Club. Look into that, how they do it. And there's like the Silver Lake Comedy Festival, which is like East 43. LA, and it's like there's so many like different festivals. There's the North Hollywood Comedy Festival, which North Hollywood is like fucking like 2 miles from Burbank Comedy Festivals. It's just like
I'm gonna listen back and submit to all these. You're dropping knowledge on me that I didn't even know before. I think I appreciate you saying that to me, because that might have been the sign that I needed, like the direction that I needed to figure out how to really take things the next step up.
And I did the Netflix festival. What's it called?
Give you a round of applause, dude. That's huge. Hell yeah, man.
The Netflix festival, but that festival was a little bit more different. It wasn't
so the Netflix is a joke thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like a contest like the other ones,
Yeah.
like the San Diego one. But if you do like a comedy festival, or you do the competition, and then like, so the way like some comedy festivals, they'll do like, we'll have round 1 at the here, we'll have round 2 at the bar, we'll have round 3 at this restaurant down the street. So it kind of brings comedy into the whole city. But if anything, you just do it here, and just do the cool tournament here, like that.
Listen, if you're listening to this, I'm gonna work on this. So we're gonna need y'all support, man. We're gonna, a lot of people have been showing up, and like, I've been advertising this podcast and the show in a lot of different ways, dude. Like, I used to work at a smoke shop a couple months ago, and I would just leave flyers on the right by the vapes and shit like that. Like, now, and maybe like 6 months later or whatever, people actually start showing up to the shows.
That's fucking cool.
I don't even work there anymore. I quit. And I'll serve food downtown now. But like, seeing people come out and like really, like increasingly out of just when you least expect it. I don't know. I think that could be really cool, man. I'm definitely gonna get working on that ASAP. I think that's a great idea.
The Jacksonville Comedy Festival, partner up with these guys.
That's gonna be great,
dude. If you have fucking like at least like 100 fucking people submit, that's money right there. And also, like, as a producer fee, but also just to bring awareness to the comedy here,
and help out the scene a little bit.
Help out the scene, and then with some of that money paid to have a headliner come out here, we have fucking this headliner come, to close out the fucking.
This is really great information. I don't even know. I don't know if I want to keep this on the air. Someone else steal the idea. I'm like, I don't know.
Cut this out, cut this part out. But yeah, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'm gonna be in touch with you for sure, man. What are you working on next, man? What are you most excited about for your comedy career, and what you got going on these days, man?
Just keep pushing, man. I kind of see I know what's I kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see what I have to do, and from friends, my peers,
Mm-hmm.
So just film more of my sets with like the new setup I have. Just put clips out there, and then and also, man, there's this. I'm gonna film something in November, kind of like a long set. I don't want to see a special, just a long set. Just have like a long set on stage and with different angles.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever go to LA, man, for the people out here listening, there's a cool theater called the Third Wheel Comedy Theater in Hollywood.
Third Wheel.
It's in the hood, bro. But fucking, it's a cool ass fucking.
This is Jacksonville. We have hoods here. People are used to it.
Yeah, it's a small theater, but these guys, dude, it's cool because cameras have gotten so good now, where it's like
ridiculous.
You get like a good $1,000 camera, which is quality is better than a camera was on TV like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So this place, it's cool. So people will rent out the place to do open mics, or if you want to rent it out to do like a show, it's $200. You produce your show, then you sell tickets and you make your money back. But also these guys, the coolest thing these guys do is they film your sets. So if you pay $400, they'll film your set, your show, and they use 3 good cameras. So, and they put the shit together for you, and they send you the fucking the video file, and it's yours.
Hell
so
yeah.
pretty much,
that's like a
some
production.
comics do what they do is just kind of like, this is my little special. This is my special.
That's what I've been thinking about, shooting maybe like a 15-20 minute special, putting it out at the end of this year.
Yeah, dude, do it, man.
But do you think like today, you said you're about to get ready to record and stuff like that. Have you been doing these jokes already for your time here, and then you're gonna like work on new ones, or are you gonna get this on tape and then see what happens?
I'm gonna mix in some stuff with some new stuff that I haven't done in a while, and some old stuff, because sometimes you get used to doing like a set, and then you're like, fuck, what were my jokes before, And, like,
yes.
you get used to doing like the same like 15 10 minute sets, like, oh, what the fuck, I had jokes before, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Rizo, dude, is there anything else that you want to talk about, or I appreciate you giving me your time here. I know you're going to be here all weekend with Felipe, doing these shows. I appreciate your time. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, or let people know about you?
Yeah, man. Just follow me on Instagram, Comic Martin Rizo. watch my videos, listen to the What's a Fool podcast, and support live comedy, man. And
support live comedy.
And the comics out there, man. Don't wait for the right time, because fucking if you're waiting for the fucking a good phone to make sketches or to film something or even, dude.
Just start it.
Start, man.
That's what I tell my friends. Like I told you, like you see what we have now. Yeah. I started all this recording this episode on the front camera of an iPad with like a cracked screen.
Dude.
These microphone stands, I had like just flimsy ones. Like I even post clips from those old days where I'm like, oh, that was so long ago. But yeah, I think just starting and then, you know, just getting something done. Even if it's not the best, that I do something this week, that I get it out this week. And I think that mindset has been helping me out a lot. So yeah, I mean, same to everybody out there. If you just start something, man, just start putting it out there. That's how I've been trying to do TikTok, man. I just post something a day.
It doesn't matter, you know. I post something a day, you know. Because when I first started doing my own podcast, I downloaded the app Anchor, you know. And Anchor is a fucking
that's where I started my host with.
Because I tell people before fucking Anchor, it seemed impossible to do a podcast because you gotta learn. You gotta go to fucking college to be a sound engineer. You have a degree to fucking do a podcast.
Yeah.
But Anchor just fucking simplified the process of podcasting, because the whole time I was thinking, why is it easier to make a video on YouTube when it's more fucking shit than just audio, you know? And these guys came around.
Yeah. I started my first podcast on Anchor, and then it didn't go as great. And then but thankfully I got the, I got what I needed to start this one. And I'm with Buzzsprout now. Shout out to the local Jacksonville. They're out here for real. But yeah, so your podcast, you're on What's Up Fool and your
Squad by the Bell podcast.
Squad by the Bell. That's pretty funny. I rock with that. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Rizo, all the way from LA, here on the Writer's Block podcast, brought to you by the Comedy Zone. I appreciate your time so much, man, and I'm excited to see the set. I'll be I'm gonna try to get out of my job today and come out. If not, I'm gonna be here tomorrow night at the show anyway to see y'all do your thing, man.
Okay, dude. Thank you, man.
I appreciate your time, brother.
That went by quick.
Dude, we did 50 minutes. We're almost at an hour up here, dude. It absolutely went by quick, man. Thank you all for listening once again. The Writer's Block podcast. Make sure you follow Martin, comic Martin Rizo. Comic Martin Rizo on Instagram. You can follow me at Bobby Brown Jr. Comedy. Check out my stuff on YouTube as well, is where I post most of my things. And we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Hell yeah.